it is official. Donald Trump has officially named who his vice presidential candidate is. Governor Mike Pence. This man right here. But a lot of people are shitting their pants because they don't think that Mike Pence is in line with Trump's views. And people are saying this can't be rationalized, blah, blah, blah. I say a few things. Number one, I say that vice presidents historically are nothing more than ceremonial props. They don't really do anything. One person on Twitter mentioned to me the possibility that what if Trump is assassinated? Then that means that Pence will become the president. And to which I responded, yes, but if Pence was a strategic move to ensure Trump wins, it's better than no Trump at all. So in other words, yes, Pence might not be the ideal running mate for Trump, but if it was a strategic move to make Trump seem less of an extreme alt-right candidate in order to bring in more moderate voters, and Trump becomes president for 6 months and he does what he can, and he dies for whatever reason, and Pence is elected, to me, Pence becomes president, to me, that's better than no Trump at all. So again, if this is a strategic move to ensure Trump wins, assuming Trump can be trusted, which, again, that's something I've always put there as a little caveat. You never know what a person's true intentions are. But assuming Trump can be trusted, then yes, to me, this is ultimately a lesser of two evils. It's the better way to go. Now, people are saying that Mike Pence is a weak bitch. He's weak on Islamic terrorism. And they cite a tweet from December 2015, which was sometime after Trump mentioned banning Muslims. Pence came out and said, a ban on Muslims is terrible, it's awful, it's intolerant, all this shit. But the point here is that Pence was saying these things. Now, people are freaking out, but look, take a look at what Governor Mike Pence tweeted out just yesterday after the Nice, France attack. He goes, today's terror attack in France is a horrific reminder of the threat facing Western civilization. This must end. The threat facing Western civilization. Now, that's about as alt-right a statement as you can make. In fact, one of the first tweets that somebody posted in response to Mike Pence after he put this out was, are you actually this stupid, or are you just sucking up to Trump? So even his opponents are thinking, man, that is a Trump-sounding tweet right there. An alt-right sounding tweet. Now, people say, what is it? If he's pandering, is he legit? Why is he saying this? Here's what I will say. Trump revolutionized what it means to be a Republican. He has revolutionized politics. He swept in there and he said, this is how it goes. He's actually voicing the will of true libertarian conservatives, if that's the label you want to use in America. And he took over the Republican Party, and Republican politicians are aware of this.
They lied.
Okay.
They said there were weapons of mass destruction. They knew there were none.
My mom is the strongest woman I know.
She should
This
be
is
running.
not about my family or his family.
Okay.
This is about the South Carolina family.
Even if Mike Pence is not genuinely concerned about the threat facing Western civilization, as he says right here, at the end of the day, what it means to be a Republican has changed. And if you're going to be a Republican in the Republican Party, that means new things now. There are new standards. The new mainstream in the Republican Party is not what mainstream was 15, 20 years ago. It's not what the GOP establishment thought was still mainstream, but realized with the Trump train that no longer being a typical rhino Republican in name only establishment Republican, that doesn't pass anymore. You have to be a different type of Republican. So either for authentic reasons or even just opportunistic reasons, it's more than possible that Mike Pence, with a tweet like this, is coming over to this new, coming onto the Trump train. This new wave of momentum and influence that is so powerful that it literally took over the Republican established party. So I'm not too concerned about this. A, because vice presidents are generally just ceremonial props. B, I would imagine that the reason Trump chose Pence is simply for a strategic move to ensure that Trump looks less extreme, less alt-right, and thus attracts more voters, ensuring a win in November. C, even if Trump dies 6 months into the presidency and Pence becomes the president, I still think that 6 months with Trump is better than no Trump at all, assuming that this was a strategic move to ensure that Trump wins. And D, here we have Governor Mike Pence yesterday releasing a tweet that is about as alt-right as you can fucking get. So I believe that in spite of what Mike Pence has said in the past, what he said 7 months ago in December 2015 about how it's bad and it's intolerant to ban Muslims, a lot has happened in the past 6 months. A, the Trump train took over the Republican Party, so now it's hip, cool, and politically opportunistic to agree with what Trump says. C, there's been an endless string of fucking terrorist attacks, both here in the United States and in Europe, which could persuade somebody like Mike Pence to say, hey, maybe Trump wasn't that extreme, because Trump has a greater sense of the world. He travels worldwide, business deals. He has more reference experiences to come to seemingly radical conclusions like we have to ban Muslims. But a career politician like Mike Pence, I don't know if he has a business background, but a politician like Mike Pence who maybe wasn't as cultured and experienced in the world, something like banning Muslims might sound extreme until 3 months later when the Paris attack, the Nice attack, the Orlando Gay nightclub attack. When that shit starts to happen, in 6 months later, the idea of banning Muslims isn't that extreme anymore, and it's actually much more justifiable in the minds of people like maybe Mike Pence. So again, we can't read minds here. We don't even know if Trump is trustworthy. You don't really know 100%. My gut says he's legit, but you never really know. You always have to have that little caveat, that little 1% of uncertainty, so you don't become just a mindless follower. So again, I don't think that this is a big deal. A lot of people are panicking. I don't think it's a big fucking deal. Thank you for watching.
Fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.